Yeah.
Experience culmination fragment. The nightclub outing?
Oh my god, we're actually going to be on the nightclub. Yes, let's go. Final. This is the final fragment, and we'll call it done there. Thank you for choosing Argus. Our future, your way. Yeah. Friday, December 20th. He reads through some papers as I tell my weekend plans. He wanted to make sure that my social life was thriving in this new setting. It was, for now. He seems happy that I have a new group of friends in my life.
Right, of course. The nightclub trip, and the, pre-gaming. Well, at least you're being social. Not something I'd recommend making a habit of, though.
Duh.
The pre-gaming, I mean, not the socializing.
Well, duh.
Having a friend group is healthy and can make all the difference. I'm glad that you're able to get along with Isaac's friends, too. Bringing a new person into a social group can often be complicated. You'll probably notice that you're under a microscope, too. At least for a while. But they should seek your approval just as much as you're seeking theirs.
As we're getting caught up, he puts the papers off to the side.
Speaking of that, though, have you been seeking more than friends? It's healthy to date and test the waters, you know.
I told Isaac that I'd like to give it a try, actually.
Makes perfect sense. You did move here for him, after all.
And
if not,
read me like a damn book.
At least to live with him, which is a big gesture. From everything I've been told, it seems like you two get along just fine.
Okay, so your past, like, dialogue choices actually, like, matter if you're, like, in the romance side. From what I know so far, with that one example. He scribbles notes down on a piece of paper that rests beside him. I'm tempted to ask him what he's writing down, but I know it's nothing bad. In fact, I'm pretty sure that I'll be cleared as a patient within a month or so.
Have your friends told you anything about their Komorebi? I mean, do you know if any of them are like you? Bonding over a shared trait can always help.
I let him know that I'm definitely the odd one out. They didn't reveal their visions, but I know they had them. For the time being, I was definitely alone with this struggle.
I guess the odds were incredibly slim. But as far as I'm concerned, it was worth a shot. If you're interested, I could hook you up with some support groups.
I let him know that I'm not interested in that. Like I've said many times before, my lack of a vision doesn't affect me.
Oh, that's exactly why I'd recommend you go to a support group. I think others could benefit from hearing how you think and feel. Whether you know it or not, you're a pretty remarkable case.
I shrug and ask him if that means he's close to clearing me as a patient.
One step at a time, Delta.
Aww.
I can't make a big decision like that unless I'm certain. Thankfully, your honesty and cooperation are helping.
I can't help but direct my attention to some colorful papers by his side. They look like pamphlets, so I decided to ask him what they are. My best guess is I already had some support groups in mind.
Oh, these? A Zero handed them to me on my way to work. I guess part of their protesting involves spreading around propaganda. This first one claims that Argus is responsible for Komorebi.
Yeah? He picks up the pamphlet and opens it.
It says that they engineered it somehow. Then they swooped in to play the savior and control society. Those who don't experience visions are just strong enough to resist.
With a laugh, he places it back down and grabs the other.
Now, this one was actually more interesting. It says that the existence of Komorebi disproves free will. That's clearly not true. I wonder if they actually believe this nonsense.
Wait a second. There's one word missing! Bad game. This is what I'm saying. He flips through the second pamphlet.
Unfortunately, we've seen people take their own lives due to Komorebi. This very act proves that, to some degree, we can still control fate. The leading theory is that these visions are more like warnings. You know, a kind of heads up of what could be. Some people even believe that they're glimpses into alternate worlds. Of course, I didn't bring you here to talk about metaphysical nonsense.
I'm intrigued by this conversation, so I decided to turn the tables. I asked him where he stands on this subject, what he believes.
Well, I believe that we'll never know the truth of Komorebi. But many visions have come to pass, while many haven't. And as I said before, some people don't live to find out. If I had to commit to an idea, I'd say I agree with the leading theory. They're just possible outcomes. Nothing set in stone or predestined. Argus isn't responsible, and we still have free will at the end of the day. Of course, that's just wishful thinking. We'll never really know. Some visions could just be tricks to send people down a certain path. I think it's more important to handle things on an individual basis. For example, what does your vision, or lack of vision, mean to you? It's best to lead with that rather than seek out a universal truth. Like I always say, truth can just be a gateway to more fright.
He puts the second pamphlet down.
I hope people don't start believing these silly stories. If those zeros are really here to cause trouble, I'd avoid them. No sense getting caught up in something like this, you know?
But like the zero I encountered, he was nice. It was pretty chill. I nod and choose not to mention the zero I ran into. Besides, something told me our session was quickly running out of time. We continued to talk, but all I could think about is the upcoming festivities. Do we get to finally be in the nightclub? Is it party time? No. We make our way down the city streets as the booze starts to wear off. There's a long walk to the nightclub, but we didn't feel like driving or using public transit because drinking and then driving is bad for everyone. Because of that, we wobble slightly as we head toward our destination, Club Euphoria.
I'm surprised your friend didn't help us out with transportation.
What do you mean?
Gives us an open bar, but he didn't send us a limo? Rude.
A limo?
Oh, don't get greedy. It was a nice gesture. He just wants to get things off to a good start.
Well, my legs are killing me, so we're off to a great start. Remind me to give him an earful when we get there.
Speaking of which, I still need to yell at Dante.
What did I do now?
I heard that noise when you connected to our speakers, dude. Was I not clear enough the other day? Don't mess with my mods.
I haven't. Well, not since then. It's just been a while since anyone connected like that. Trust me, Isaac, I made those changes months ago.
Is that supposed to get you off the hook?
I'm just being honest, man.
I guess we'll see.
Dante scoffs and looks the other way.
You know, I might not drink as much as I thought tonight.
What? Why's that?
It's these new painkillers.
Wait, you're in pain?
Yeah, because you won't get off my back. Is it too much to ask for just one night of fun? You're the one who wanted that, yet you're tearing into me.
An awkward silence fills the air as they stare at one another. But just like the usual, they erupt into laughter only a few moments later.
Fine. I'll try and ease up on you a little bit. If we want to be friends forever, I might just have to.
All of a sudden, I started to think about the conversation we had earlier. In their visions, they were no longer in touch. No longer a friend group.
You really think we can pull that off? I guess it's worth a shot.
Isaac stops in his tracks and turns to face all of us.
Then we should make a pact.
A pact?
Like with blood?
No.
Ah, shame. Always wanted to do one of those.
I'd rather not have your blood on my hands, Taylor.
Oh, but I thought we were finally bonding.
That's like 10 staircases of too much.
Come on, can you please take this seriously for a second? I just want to make sure that we don't all drift apart.
You guys have phones. You can message and call each other and hang out.
And how do you suggest we do that?
It's not like it's like, oh, who's this Dante got my phone contacts out of here?
The the group chat. Probably. Let's promise to keep using it no
Yeah.
matter where we are. Even if it's just 1 or 2 messages a week. No pressure, right? Then we really can be friends forever. Right now, you're
Just don't forget the group chat, and that's
I
it.
think about you all the time. But in my vision, like I said, I'm not even aware of your existence.
Oh, tragic. Everybody should know who I am. But on a more serious note, I guess I can manage that. Yeah, I don't plan on leaving the group, so I'm down.
Then let's make it official.
He pulls out his hand, palm facing down. One by one, we stack our hands on top of his. I wait until the end, since I'm the newest one here.
Friends, until the end.
Until the end. We all sit down in unison and look at each other with big smiles. A moment later, we pull back our hands and continue our way. I had no problem with the agreement, since it seemed pretty low maintenance. It's a little odd, but odd. What the hell is that? It's a little odd, but this pact suddenly made my life feel more grounded. If we really followed through, I'd always have friends to support me. That made this scary new city seem all the more inviting. By the time the night was over, this place would be home. I decided to bring up something that my counselor told me in our session. There's a theory that Komorebi isn't set in stone. It's just a possibility. A pact like this could very well define what they believe to be fate.
Ah, yes, the parallel universe thing. If that's true, then I'm screwed no matter what. If you're my best friends, then this is clearly the darkest timeline.
Rude?
Hey, don't worry. I thrive in the dark.
I noticed that Dante looks a little worried.
Hey, you know your counselor isn't supposed to do that, right? He's supposed to stick to facts and Argus-approved exercises. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's off curriculum, so to speak. Yeah, and that could only come from someone who's never had a vision. People like us, who live with Komorebi, kind of find that laughable. It's something you can't understand. Not unless you've lived it.
I asked him for some clarification, as I'm a little confused.
Well, I didn't have a speech prepared or anything, but it'd be like hosting a lecture on something you know nothing about. And not only that, but your students are already experts on the subject.
That'll be both difficult and embarrassing.
Just think about it this way. It's inescapable even if you escape it. We could defy our vision, sure, but we still have to experience it. Every day, we face the future as if it were the present. It's indistinguishable from reality, and it's awful. So even if we are friends forever, I'll still lose you all the time.
Unless we
Who
get
cares about
married!
another world or universe. Feelings are all real.
Wow. He nailed it.
I guess I never thought of it that way before. Even if we learn the origin of these visions, they'll still happen every day. They exist alongside the truth, and probably even overpower it.
Though I have to say, we should probably change the subject. This whole thing seems like a recipe for depression. Let's not sabotage our night out, huh? True. And honestly, thanks for your input, Delta. I know that you were only trying to help out.
I nod and tell him it's fine. It's true, though. It wasn't my place to speak about Komorebi. Building off of that lecture metaphor, I should be sitting and listening.
Whoa! Didn't expect such a big lineup.
Around the next corner, I see a nightclub for the first time. For some reason, it looks exactly how I expected it would. But Isaac was right. The lineup was massive.
I thought you said they canceled the event.
They did. I guess this is just the kind of traffic they get. It is the most popular club in town, after all.
Hopefully it's earned that title. Any chance your friend can help with the line?
I think he did, actually. Let me go talk to the person at the door.
Isaac motions for us to wait as he approaches the club. We stand around and exchange glances with one another. Dante still looks worried and inches closer toward me.
You know, I was serious about what I said. Your counselor isn't supposed to talk about that kind of stuff. If you reported him, you might be able to get cleared as a patient.
I shrug. That seems extremely unfair. I thought that reporting would get me cleared. They probably just transfer me over to someone else. Somebody else. I'm already making progress with him, so I can't do that. Starting all over with another counselor would be super tedious. Dante nods as I speak my thoughts. He seems to understand.
Well, sometimes these things benefit other people. You might be fine, but he's still breaking the rules. That could be harmful. It's not a good thing to fill people's heads with nonsense, especially in therapy.
He has a point, but before we could talk any further, Isaac returns.
Good news! We get to skip the line.
Woo! And all of a sudden, your friend is back in my good books.
The mood of the group instantly skyrockets. Waiting a long line would have honestly killed the flow of our evening. Thankfully, Isaac's friend playing around that fact.
Well then, what kind of drink should we order first?
That question lingers as we make our way into the nightclub. A few people complained that we were able to skip the line. It's kind of flattering. I have no right to feel this way, but it makes me feel important and special. I might have to split this.
Tequila!
Dante quickly downs a shot, signaling me and Taylor to do the same. Isaac scurried out to prepare whatever needed to be prepared. As always, he remained tight-lipped until the very end.
I'm so ready to pay for this in the morning.
I guess we're just gluttons for punishment. How about we grab another round and go sit down? At this rate, it could be hours before Isaac comes back.
Sounds good to me. Hey, barkeep! 3 more tequila shots, please. And it should be covered. We're part of Isaac's group.
The bartender shrugs and says they have no idea what we are talking about. There are no reservations or holds in place for someone by the name of Isaac. There's some stuff happening on the second floor, but not down here.
The second floor?
The VIP section?
We turn to face each other, a little wide-eyed. Taylor leans in and starts whispering.
That's amazing and all, but who's paying for these? They're already preparing the next round of shots.
I'll get it, don't worry. I got a bit of an advance from my publisher. Just don't let them know I wasted it on booze.
I'm sure they're used to hearing that, Dante. What is a writer if not an alcoholic in disguise?
I'm not gonna read too much into that.
Maybe save the trash talk until after you're treated. If I just pay for me and Delta, you'll get kicked out.
And suddenly, I was joking! You're the best friend ever, I swear.
Sure.
The bartender places 3 shot glasses in front of us. In return, Dante waves his phone in front of the scanner. The transaction is completed, and we grab the shots.
Hey, follow me. I know exactly where we can sit. And thanks a million, Dante. I really mean it. Someday I'll find a way to repay you.
You could stop making fun of my career, for one.
Like I said, someday I'll find a way to repay you.
Someday, yeah, how about now? You follow Taylor as we talk, and eventually find an empty table. Making sure not to spill his shots, we place them down as we sit.
Speaking of which, is your channel okay, Taylor?
Well, actually, it's pretty great.
You seem pretty scared about those shots. Like you couldn't spare the $60.
I don't like spending money if I can avoid it. And there's no point in spending it if someone else will treat me. That's kind of why I agreed to do this nightclub thing from the start.
So, you're...
That makes sense you rely on handouts.
Yeah.
Now I know why the donate button takes up your entire page.
Bigger is better, as they say.
So, like, in like, I don't know, in the corner, or if you let it be funny, in the middle of the screen of your stream, you just have donate.
But it's not just donations, Dante. I have one of the highest sub counts on the platform.
Which platform? Cause...
Really? I guess I don't watch you too much. I wasn't paying attention when I guessed it either.
It's true. Your boy is making history. When I get a book deal, maybe you can help me out. Oh, on that note, how's your latest project going?
At a snail's pace, but at least it's moving. I took a couple days off to celebrate Delta's arrival, especially tomorrow. You know, hangover day.
Can't enjoy the highs without the lows. But don't worry, I'll make us some mimosas in the morning. Sometimes the best way to cure a hangover is to drink more.
I don't think that's good.
I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
You're a loss. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's have a little toast to the unknown.
It's not unknown. It's literally not true.
Taylor shrugs and grabs his shot glass. We down the next round of tequila. It's a little gross. You know what they say about too much of a good thing?
Well, maybe I'll believe you and get a big breakfast instead. My contract doesn't want me drinking too much anyways.
Wait, they control what you do?
You say that like it's abnormal, man. There's always somebody on top of us that tells us what to do. Though I can't think of a few scenarios where that wouldn't be too bad.
I want you to know that I got your joke. It just wasn't good.
Well, I'm no writer, just an entertainer. I kind of do what you do, but with less elegance. Basically, get paid to vocalize my thoughts all day.
So, are you a podcaster?
I'm surprised people pay for that. I didn't pay a thing, and I still want a refund after listening to you.
Well, there's a market for everything. It doesn't have to be good. I mean, look at how many copies your novels have sold.
Dante laughs and shows a big smile at Taylor.
I honestly have no comeback for that one. You win this round, but I'll get you next time.
Looking forward to it. You're always a worthy opponent. Any idea what's taking Isaac so long, by the way? He hasn't said a thing in the group chat since he left.
Well, we know he's upstairs now. He's probably making the VIP section look pretty for us. Guess that gives me time for a much-needed bathroom break.
Giving me and Delta some alone time, huh?
I'd never torture my friends like that. I just gotta go.
Yeah. And plus, I'm kind of like leaning into Isaac a bit, Taylor. I just skipped her text. I was not thinking straight. My bad. Something feels different about tonight, and it's not just the alcohol. It feels like I'm actually getting to know these people. When I first arrived, it was clear that they were put on an act. I don't blame them. First impressions are often important. But the second impression can be even more important in my books. You know, the person you see when the courtesy start to fade. Not a bad thing in any way. It means they're getting used to me. Guess this sounds isn't a bad time to get my thoughts. Again? Isaac, Dante, Taylor.
Interact with each upon interacting with.
I know.
Hey! Get your head out of the clouds!
Isaac. Oh. Okay.
We finally get to hang out alone and you zone out? If I didn't know any better, I'd take it as an insult.
Okay. I'm sorry, Taylor. Don't beat me up. I shake my head and apologize. In retrospect, it was kind of rude. Yeah. It's like, you're with someone at a nightclub. Like, you're with one of your friends at a nightclub, and you just zone out.
You mean a lot to Isaac. He's made that very clear. And from what I've experienced, you do seem pretty awesome. Well, since he's taking his sweet time, how about we chat for a bit?
That's true. We did have more than enough time to chat. Isaac is being slow. I saw that bathroom line up awaiting Dante. I leaned back in my chair and tried to make myself more comfortable. It seemed like I'd be sitting here for a while longer, yet.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Taylor 1.
In the middle of this? Okay.
Hold on. Just let me move over there. There we go. Much better.
Yeah, let me just move to the center of the screen. I turned to face Taylor, immediately making things more personal. This was the first time I've ever been alone, buzzed, in an obnoxiously loud club. What a perfect time to get to know each other. An awkward smile between the two of us marks the start of our conversation. I was warned about his drunken behavior, so I kinda know what to expect.
You know, I'm pretty proud of that sass-off I had with Dante. Usually he can pin me down, but I'm getting better on my feet. A quick wit can beat a sharp mind any day of the week. But a few shots of booze can easily bring that wit to a full stop. Considering that, I think I handled myself pretty well. Maybe one of these days you and I can go head to head.
Looking forward to it. I'll brush up on my sarcasm.
Might want to take a few lessons before we go at it. I have a record to maintain, so there's no way I'll go easy. Isaac is pretty entry level, if you need someone to practice on.
We exchange a smile again, but it's much less awkward. That's probably for the best, so I assume we'll become close friends. This group seems super tight-knit. Getting close to one meant getting close to all.
You know, before you came along, I was the newest member of the group. It's been that way for a couple years, but now we have some new blood. I get to look at you through the same lens they used to judge me. Oh, but don't worry, I like what I see. So, do you move around a lot? Or will you be here long term?
I plan to be here long term.
Ah, good to know. You seem nice. The reason I ask is because I used to move around all the time. From one place to another, the system always kept me mobile.
He fills with a shot glass in front of him.
So, this whole fresh start thing, I know what it's like. I'd brag about having more practice, but that's not really a good thing. Moving around made it really hard to keep a stable group of friends. When I got my first phone, though, everything changed. Making friends and keeping in touch when I move away? Priceless. I guess I also made some pretty good jokes. Got a lot of followers. So when I decided to start streaming, I already had an audience. The transition from hobbyist to full-time job happened almost overnight.
Damn.
I bought a house here, settled down, and then met the rest of the group. And now, I'm sitting here with you. That's the story of Taylor. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not one to really open up like this. But when you talk to strangers all day, you kinda need to hold back. Oh, don't get me wrong, I love my viewers more than anything, and yeah, there's a lot of regulars, but it all feels so surface level, you know? I'll never bond with them like I did with Isaac and Dante.
I kinda know what you mean, but at the same time, I have no idea what you mean.
Guess I'm just one of those quality over quantity guys. Kind of ironic that I chose a field where numbers mean everything then.
Yeah, that's ironic.
Can't complain too much though. I guess I do have the best of both worlds.
It's odd to see someone so successful have gripes with their life. But I guess nothing can be positive all the time. Even stardom could have its drawbacks.
I'm glad we got to have some time to ourselves, Delta. Even if it felt like I did most of the talking, I think I needed that. I talk to people all the time, but it's rarely about anything real. How about you join me at my place next week? We can have a blast tonight and pick this up next time. Maybe I'll even let you guest on my stream, if you're nice. Oh, and we'll have a lot more privacy there. Feel free to take that one however you will.
I will take that as us being friends and buddies, not you making a move on me. He smirks at me and I give him a quick nod. There's no reason why that shouldn't work, so I agree. A crowded nightclub isn't the best place to form a bond. Well, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, actually. Whoa. God, he's like staring in my soul. Like, all of his other sprites are like fine, whatever. He is staring deep into my soul. But right now I had no interest in extending my reach beyond this group. Even though I've known Isaac for years, I'm getting to know him all over again. Stop staring at me, please. That's a good thing, though. It was an adventure that I was happy to embark on. Getting to know these people and their quirks can only happen once. One day I'll definitely look back on this and wish I could relive it all again.
You really are
Okay,
the
thank
master
you.
of daydreaming, huh?
God, I did not like that sprite at all. He was just staring deep into my soul, just like killing me.
Well, I guess all of this could be pretty overwhelming. New city, new friends, new everything, really. I'll try not to add to the pile, so don't worry. Well, except for tonight, I can't make that promise. This club is a new experience for all of us, not just you.
Numbers mean everything. Experience heart-to-heart, Taylor 1. I noticed Dante returned from the bathroom in the corner of my eye. Taylor must see that I'm distracted and he turns to look.
Hey, it's about time. Delta was almost boring me to death.
Rude.
Whoa, he's insulting you. Just so you know, that means he has a crush.
He sits down and plays with the empty shot glass in front of him.
Sorry I took so long, by the way. Some guy tried to sell me drugs.
Ooh, did you buy enough for all of us?
Dude, drugs are bad.
Oh, all right. And how many energy drinks have you had today?
2.
2?
Oh, yes. There's the double standard. Can't say I didn't warn you about that contest, man. It was just a ploy to create new addicts, nothing more.
Yeah, I heard you the first 1,000 times.
I'd be worried if they're fighting, but I know better than that by now. This is just how they get along. They hate each other, they wouldn't talk at all. It's about to continue, but Isaac starts all of us with his unexpected return.
Hey, looks like everything is good to go. Come with me. We're going somewhere special.
You mean the VIP section?
Aw, what? How'd you know?
He looked up.
The bartender down here gave it away. Said the only thing going on tonight was upstairs.
Buzzkill.
You're the only buzzkill here, man. Keeping us in the dark until the last possible second?
All right, fine. Let's just go and have some fun.
That's all you ever had to say, Isaac. Maybe start with that one next time.
We all get up and start to follow Isaac. At least the time is finally upon us. No more teasing or secrecy. I'm not sure what he wanted to hide, but it kind of backfired on him. If he wanted to hype something up for my benefit, he didn't need to. I would have been fine with no outing at all and just staying home. But at least if this went well, I'm making another new friend. Isaac is a good judge of character, so I bet we'll meet someone cool. At least everyone he's introduced me to me so far has been pretty awesome. With slight anxiety, we ascend the stairs to a floor reserved just for us. I have to admit, that does make me feel a little special. We ascend the stairs, and my anticipation rises alongside me. I've never been treated to something like this before. I'm so grateful. I only hope that I'm able to express that properly to our new friend. A friend of Isaac's is a friend of mine, at least, in theory. Any addition to a group dynamic has a chance of going sour. However, I decided to be optimistic in the face of what could go wrong.
Well, I'm sorry for the secrecy, but here we are. I didn't want to reveal what was happening until the last minute. Sometimes a surprise is necessary. Just felt like one of those days.
Dude, we just talked about how the surprise was ruined. I mean, it's not really a surprise if everyone knows but us. Even their part-time bartender was in on this thing.
Yeah, but I value the look on your face more than theirs. That's why I kept it a secret from you and not the staff. Good or bad, a surprise is still a new experience, right?
That's the logic you're using to save face? Don't even get me started on how bad that is. Just admit the fact you handled this wrong right from the start.
Hey, don't speak too soon. Look, I promise you'll understand why I've been acting so weird. There were a bunch of other people involved, and a lot of strings attached.
Strings?
A bunch of other people?
Yeah, I wasn't the only one who wanted to keep things secret. I was only playing by the rules that made everyone comfortable. Also, I was legally bound. There were forms involved.
What were you doing, Isaac?
Yeah, because the law always keeps you in line.
Is this about my mods again? They're legal. I'm being honest for once. Just trust me. Please.
Said every liar ever.
Bro, when the police come knocking, you can rub it in my face. But right now, the ball is in my court, and I plan to serve.
Oh, a sportsman all of a sudden. You're acting so weird, like you're trying to be cool. Do not continue this.
God. Do not continue this. Don't. He just has that, like, don't stance.
And suddenly it all falls into place. He just wants to impress his new boyfriend.
His new what?
His new what? Oh, that's a new voice. Another man pokes his head out, having been knelt behind the bar.
Sorry, I was just organizing these bottles. Didn't expect the selection to be so artistic. Wine is the one that gets better with age, right?
Yeah, you could ask Isaac that one. He's pretty old.
Guess that's why he's finer than you.
He's finer than you? Damn!
Are you sassing me?
Damn!
I came prepared.
We all laugh and move closer to the bar. Isaac's friend looks familiar, but I can't put a finger on it. Rather than dwell on that, I simply thank him for his generosity.
No problem. I was actually supposed to do a signing up here. I'm guessing Isaac told you about the event that was cancelled? Thankfully, we still had the venue booked, so I made use of it.
Signing?
Yeah, he has a following.
Suddenly, we hear a high-pitched scream from behind us. It's Taylor, isn't it? It was obviously Taylor, but when we turn around, he acts oblivious. He simply lets out a deep breath and places his hands together.
I am composed.
That's a new noise. Please never make it again.
Taylor ignores the bait and steps even closer to the bar.
Sorry, I didn't really recognize you. I'm Taylor, and apparently I'm also an idiot.
Nah, don't worry. You're not an idiot. You'd be surprised how accurate those old comic books can be. Put on some glasses, change your hair, and nobody can recognize you.
Can't hide that voice, though. We were just listening to you before we walked over here. I guess the whole surprise thing makes...
Yeah, it's Klace, and yeah.
Wait. I know you.
It's Klace. Dante's eyes open and wide as he approaches a sudden realization.
And I know you, too. Can you sign some stuff for me?
Well, I have some spare copies of my books back at home.
Bold of you to assume I didn't bring my own. I've been a fan since day one. Even have a first edition copy of Forlorn. And Taylor, I love your streams. Great company for those long trips.
I'm able to piece together the evidence. That's Klace. We listened to his music just a few hours ago while we were pre-gamed. I knew enough to know that he was a person of note in the music industry.
Wow, didn't know we had any idols lurking in chat.
Oh yeah, totally. I tell a lot of people about your channel too. You should let me join you as a guest while I'm in town.
Sure. How long are you in for?
A couple months, probably. Unless something comes up. I'll be easy to find though. Isaac is gonna add me to the group chat.
Sounds good to me. So, what are the plans for tonight?
That was certainly interesting. They've arranged a collab. I've seen crossovers like that, and they always end up in the news. A streamer and an idol playing games together? Everyone would love to see it. I'm not really familiar with the content that any of these people make though. Dante's novels, Taylor's streams, and Klace's music, never experienced them. But I knew that was going to change, and at this rate, it'd be changing fast.
Figured we'd each grab a bottle and just hang out. Trust me, the couches up here are super comfortable. Oh, and Isaac, you still on for Sunday?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What's happening on Sunday?
He's moving in with us.
What?
What?
Exactly, what?
Surprise!
Another person in your house? I thought I was special.
Now I know why you kept all of this a secret. Can't have any objections if nobody knows anything.
You...
It's
scandal.
not like that. Okay, maybe it's kind of like that, but you should see the look on your face.
Worth it?
Totally. So, what do you want to drink? I think I'll grab a bottle of
Yeah, I
fancy wine.
definitely need to split this into 2 parts.
Same. We've already had everything else. And it looks like those bottles are pretty expensive.
Let's not drink too much, though. Don't want to run his tab through the roof.
Oh, feel free. It's all bought out, so don't let it go to waste. We can even grab a few to take home if you want.
What, you bought the entire section? You bought the entire, like, supply? Taylor steps forward and places his hands on Klace's shoulders.
You are my best friend.
I am officially creeped out. Klace chuckles and grabs a bottle of wine he was holding earlier.
Let's take a seat and see if we can make that mutual, alright?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm definitely need to split this into 2 parts. Klace holds a deck of cards. Not the kind you expect. It's a card game made for a night of drinking with peculiar questions. Nothing held back. Talk about going off the deep end for a first impression.
Looks like this one's for Taylor. At least, I think it suits him the best.
Yeah? What is it?
Let's see here. What's the pettiest thing you've ever done?
Oh, easy. You mean today or...
Ever.
Stalling rule!
Objection sustained. You can't answer a question with another question. That defeats the entire purpose of the game, Taylor.
Why did we make you the judge again?
Just be thankful you didn't make me the executioner, man. Either way, stalling rule dictates that we get to ask another question. And not only that, but it doesn't have to be from a card. We can make it up.
Oh, and if I refuse to answer?
Shot.
Oh, what a terrible punishment. Not like I've been doing that all day anyway. Can I just take 2 shots and avoid this altogether?
No.
Objection sustained. Let's take it from the top. What's the pettiest thing you've ever done?
Taylor places his head into his hand and sighs.
You're all really out here trying to ruin me. Just promise you won't repeat this. It's embarrassing.
Remember, sworn to secrecy.
All right. Well, I was dating this guy. He was cool, I guess. We'd hang out and watch TV shows all day. It got to the point where I enjoyed the TV shows more than him.
Damn.
And you know my motto, don't spend money if you don't have to. I ended up dating him for a year before actually calling it off. Gave me time to watch what I wanted. No subscriptions.
Damn. You just mooched off your date? Damn, Taylor. We all exchanged glances, a little shocked.
That's foul, man.
It's exactly.
Hey now, we all do stupid things when we're young.
Yeah, but he mooched off his date for an entire, show, pretty much.
Young? This was just last month.
month.
But come on, you saw the new season of Insomnia Cafe. Don't tell me you wouldn't do the same. It was so good.
A man-child. We're in the company of a literal man-child.
Like your answers would be any better. I have dirt on all of you. Keep that in mind.
Oh, you've made a big mistake now. Trash talking when we get to ask whatever we want.
In that case, I'm gonna go with Delta. I know you wouldn't put me on the spot too bad. And my liver hurts, so I'd prefer a question I can answer.
I thought you were gonna be drinking all night.
Can he do that?
Yeah, reversal rule. He either elects someone or we spin a bottle. Gives him a chance to minimize his embarrassment.
Delta, don't minimize anything. Throw him under the bus just like he does to us. We'll finally give him a taste of his own snarky medicine.
Everybody looks at me. I guess I have to decide on what we ask Taylor. A bunch of questions flood the forefront of my mind and I focus. Thankfully, I've been getting my thoughts. I'm ready for this. Let's see. Ooh. 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 Ah. Hold on, last 10 pages? In browser history? We're talking full on 10 pages? Or 10 results? You know what? What are the last 10 pages in your browser history?
No, absolutely not. At least let a man die with some dignity.
Shot. Stump Taylor during the nightclub card game. Yes! He shakes his head and takes a shot at rest in front of him. Deer lined up, like ammo. Bullets we endured for hiding the truth. I had a feeling that would fluster him. He could do the same to almost anybody.
Look at that, you stumped him. Honestly, I don't know what I like more. Watching him take shots or watching him get all flustered.
From where I stand, they're both pretty entertaining. But I imagine you'd like to learn more about us, right? Let's try to minimize the shots from here on out.
Alright. We all exchange glances, unsure what happens next. The double question really threw a wrench in the momentum. Before continuing, Klace coughs to get all our attention.
I went last, so that means Delta's next. But no more freedom. Gotta stick to what's in your hand. And Taylor isn't allowed to be questioned until after his next turn.
I nod and look down at the cards in my hand. It does seem like each one would fit a specific person. Klace targeted Taylor, so I'll try to see my next move. Let's see. Ooh. You know what? Dante, describe the most attractive part of everyone's present.
Wait, seriously? Way to put me on the spot, Delta.
See? Now that's the kind of question I've been waiting for. Always a good idea to throw praise at your friends.
And I finally get to hear what Dante likes about me. I've asked him for years, but he always acts ignorant.
That shot is getting more and more tempting. But fine, just don't get mad at me. It's not what you want to hear, okay?
Hey, everyone has their own taste. Wouldn't be fair to hold that against you.
Yeah, don't worry. We'd never do that. As long as you get the answer right, of course.
Dante sighs, realizing it may be impossible to please everyone at the table. A moment later, in a rapid-fire fashion, he speaks his mind, almost like he rehearsed it.
Klace, the voice. Isaac, the ambition. Taylor, the confidence. And Delta, the willingness to take risks.
Damn, alright. He smiles after he finishes, like he's proud of his answers.
Oh, that was honestly great.
You admire my ambition?
Yeah. Someday I'll have a work ethic like you. I spend more time looking at memes than writing.
Same. That's one of my favorite things to do. I'll say I'm gonna sleep, but I'll just stay on my phone all night.
Okay, that kind of hits with me a little bit.
A connoisseur, I see.
Only the best. And if you're nice, maybe I'll share.
It's not memes, but I just watch YouTube videos. He smirks before continuing the game.
Looks like Taylor is next. That means your immunity is worn off, too.
Already?
Oh, sweet. It's time to get my revenge.
On who?
Bring it on, dude. I'm sure I'll never recover.
Taylor inspects his cards, then whines audibly.
Not fair. All of these are so wholesome. Can I just swap cards with somebody else?
No. It won't kill you to be wholesome for once.
It really might.
Hey, make your move before I call the stalling rule.
Fine. Let's see here. Tell us about an embarrassing fact or experience. At least this one has potential to be juicy.
That one seems like revenge to me, man. Klace, no need to answer if you don't want to.
Oh, it's fine. I just don't know my answer yet. I'm no stranger to scandals, so this casts a pretty wide net.
Go ahead. Take your time.
But not too much. Remember, the rules apply to you too.
Are you sure you don't want help with this one? I know you had some pictures and videos leaked.
Taylor!
Oh, yeah, but I killed it in those. Not embarrassing at all.
You want me to start a timer?
Oh, no need. Just let me figure out how to word it.
He strikes a thinking pose before starting to speak.
Well, I guess this one is just an embarrassing fact about myself. But I'm pretty sure I owe my entire career to a fluke.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Well, it goes a bit deeper than that. I had my first vision when I was about to turn 13. You know, just like we all did. No real difference.
I decided to say anything. The odds of meeting someone without a vision are so low, I can't blame him. There's no real reason to assume that someone at a table of 5 didn't experience Komorebi.
But in my vision, I'm older, with a lot more experience. I had a lot of albums out, and a lot of songs to pick from.
No way.
Yeah, totally. I got started by stealing songs from my future self. I mean, I guess it's not really stealing since I still wrote them. But I entered the school's talent show that year with an arsenal. I got scouted right away, and I've been working ever since.
Oh, they made you do all that since you were 13?
Well, they adjusted my courses to incorporate singing and dancing. I wasn't doing more work. The work was just tailored a bit better.
Interesting. I figured you went off to an idol academy or something.
I did, but that came a little later.
Not really
You're
stealing.
milking 10
Learn a
questions
secret
out of
about
one
Klace.
here. Maybe you should be sticking to the rules you were enforcing.
Fair enough. It's just an interesting story.
But a bit embarrassing, so I just keep it to myself. If I told everybody, then the bad press would start flowing. I'd hate to feel like I have to defend myself all the time.
Oh, didn't think of it like that.
He stops to think, like he's choosing his next words carefully.
If standing up for yourself was bad press, my reputation would be ruined. Don't let people walk all over you. Others will see the prints and follow suit.
Dante leans forward, a little shocked.
Taylor gave good advice? This really is a special day.
We all laugh as the game continues. I had my doubts at first, but Dante was actually right. This night is proven to be just as special as it will be memorable. Come on, damn it! I should have picked Isaac. Maybe I should have picked Isaac. Or maybe Isaac will pick. When's Isaac gonna get a turn? Or Dante, of like choosing someone to ask a question. I lay on one of the couches and step at the ceiling. Dante and Taylor do the same, while Klace and Isaac lay on the floor. It was basically unspoken, but we all decided to take a quick breather.
Hey, how'd you two meet anyway? This must have taken a lot of coordination.
Not really.
Yeah, we met on Taylor's stream. Nothing crazy. He mentioned he was taking a break from work, so I invited him over.
Seriously? I keep a pretty good eye on who's watching my stream. Even if they don't chat, I can still check out the user list. Can't say I ever noticed your name pop up there.
Oh, I don't use that name online. Or my legal name. The agency gave me a spare account so I could be anonymous. Isaac didn't even know who I really was until around a week ago.
Yeah, it's basically a burner account that influential people get. If he went around posting as himself, he'd never have peace of mind. The account basically vanishes if his identity is compromised.
Sounds like a spy novel.
Is that even fair? A license to do whatever you want online?
Well, no, it's just a burner account.
Well, I'm still subject to changes in my score, so it's not like I use it for evil or anything. It's just an extra layer of security.
I think that's pretty cool. Good to know they care about your safety.
Yeah, totally. They pitched it as a digital security guard. It keeps people at arm's length, but it's not always good, because then I have to deceive people like Isaac. I was worried he'd hate me when I told him the truth. Any way you look at it, I lied to him for ages.
But it's not like you wanted to. He didn't have any ulterior motives either.
True, but I still feel a little guilty. So buying out the bar was more like a peace offering. I'd like to get things off to a good start. No secrets between friends.
No place for those here.
Yeah, not if we plan to be friends forever.
Forever?
Until death, in Isaac's words. We were getting a bit sappy earlier.
Death? Sappy?
Yeah, we're a quirky bunch.
And I don't plan on dying anytime soon.
Why is Klace having like a panic attack?
Yeah, of
Oh.
course.
Fat fingered. My bad. Sorry, Taylor. Klace laughs, but I can tell he's a little weirded out.
You know, I don't feel like I'm an outsider anymore. That card game really helped me get to know all of you. Before you came upstairs, I was worried you'd hate me.
But Isaac and Dante didn't have a turn to pick someone.
Nah, Isaac is a pretty good judge of character. When he vouched for you, I knew we were in for a good time. He was just being shady about everything until the last minute.
Yeah, I'll take responsibility for that one. I hope you can understand why we needed some privacy.
He looks to the side, like he's a little shy about what he'll say next.
I'd also like to request that you offer me more during my stay.
Of course. So, just to get things straight, you're on a small hiatus from your music career.
Yeah, just wrapped up my tour, so it seemed fitting. And I don't need to start a new album for a while yet. Combine both of those facts, and boom. Freedom.
We're gonna make the most of it, too. Don't want you looking back on this with any regrets.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Isaac. For everything.
While they talk, I get off the couch and slowly walk away. I let them know that I'm just taking a quick breather. It's been a wild night. As I continue to walk, I hear their laughs slowly dissipate, replaced by music. I look off the railing and down to the first floor. Everyone seems to be having the time of their life tonight. It makes you wonder if anyone knew what was going on up here. Chaos would probably ensue if they knew that Klace was mere feet away. I don't know much about him, but I know that he can easily draw a crowd. That's probably the most important quality for someone in his line of work.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Klace 1.
Yes. I stand in front of the railing, watching the activity on the dance floor. It hasn't been too long since I arrived, but I'm starting to feel a sense of home. There's just something about this place, and these people. I feel at ease. I'm even able to establish a rapport with people I've never met. It's like the weight that hindered me back at home was completely eliminated. This could be a honeymoon period, of course, but I'm going to enjoy every second. Klace approaches me, startling me on my reverie.
Hey, how are you holding up? This is the first time I've seen you away from the rest of the group. We're all having a blast, you know. I hope you feel the same way.
Of course, just need a breather before I continued.
Oh, good. I was starting to worry. Things were getting a little intense, I'll give you that. But I'm glad you're not tapping out. We're just getting started.
He gives a soft smile before taking another sip of his drink. I thank you for coming over to check on me, and I expect him to leave. Much to my surprise, however, he stays beside me, enjoying my company. We watch the dance floor together, and I'm a little flattered. Someone of his status choosing to spend time with me? As that thought consumes my mind, I can't help but ask him.
Status? And what status do you mean exactly? People say that all the time, but they have no idea what this industry is like. I can guarantee that you'd outrank me tenfold if we compared our scores.
Nah. I'm at a neutral.
People like me, artists I mean, are known for having awful scores. Art has always been about challenging the status quo, at least to me. The system hates that, and every new song is a nosedive for my score.
I tell him I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking about his fame and fortune as a pop star. However, I'm a bit surprised that his score is low.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm embarrassed for going off on a tangent. Whenever somebody mentions status, I always think about the system. We're just numbers in a computer. Fame and fortune will always come second to that.
He takes another sip of his drink.
It goes against my values to treat one group of people better than another, too. So this status that you're talking about, it's from the outside looking in. When I watch you and your friends, I'm actually pretty jealous.
He's envious of us? I ask him to elaborate.
At this point, I think the alcohol is elaborating, not me. But everybody dancing down there, I bet they wish they could be up here. They'd probably even abandon their friends and family for a life of luxury. And by the time they regret it, it'd already be too late. Once you get into a world like this, there's no getting out. You're just there, watching them, and wanting to go back. You know, I could tell that you and your friends were worried. It was clear. You didn't really know if you'd fit in with me or not, but honestly, I was terrified that I wouldn't fit in with you.
He scoffs.
I said I wanted to have a good time, and now I'm bringing you down. Let's make a deal, alright? Drop the whole status thing between us. That's not something I can ask of them, but I know I can ask it of you.
He motions down toward the dance floor, and I understand what he means. Especially now that people are starting to recognize his face. They look up from the dance floor, taking pictures of us.
Just like they want to be up here, I want to be down there. That velvet rope keeps me in just as much as it keeps them out. For my safety, they always say. Like I can't take care of myself. But I hope that you and your friends can change that. I don't have to be up here alone anymore. I can be with all of you. Hold on. Let me get this over with. It's rude to keep an audience hanging.
He leans over the railing a little bit, blowing a kiss to the crowd. With a smile and a little pose for the photos, it seems like his work is done. They cheer, but it's peculiar, like his personality changed just for the crowd.
Well then, let's get away from all those prying eyes. If I'm not mistaken, you owe me a few facts about yourself.
I nod and follow him back to the core area of the VIP deck. We sit down across from each other, and he lays back, stretching. Dante, Taylor, and Isaac are still hanging out. Their distance provides us with privacy. He rests his empty glass on the table between us and stares at me. I can tell he's trying to get a read on me, like I can just tell from sight. With a quick shrug, I rest back in my chair and wait for him to speak.
There's something different about you. Maybe it's because we're both fish out of water here. Lost and clueless, but lost and clueless together, right?
Another smile. I give him one in return. Bonding over a shared struggle makes sense to me. It's not easy moving to a place you know almost nothing about.
So, why did you move exactly? I know your friends are here, and Isaac offered you a room, but yeah. Running away from something? Looking for something new?
I tell him it's a mix of both, honestly. At home, I felt held back. I needed a change. More freedom. I also don't know what I want in life, so I guess it's an excuse to find myself.
Find yourself? I've been there, and it's not really what you'd think. Sometimes, finding yourself just means realizing how lost you really are. In the face of something like that, blissful ignorance almost seems preferable.
It might just be the alcohol, but that sounded rather profound. Klace immediately leans forward, giggling at what he said.
I am so putting that in my next song. Look, we just met and you're already inspiring me. Let's have another drink, alright? I like where this is going.
He quickly scurries to the bar and prepares 2 glasses of wine. Carefully walking back, he tries his best not to spill anything. Sitting down with a smile, he places the drinks on the table.
Thanks for opening up to me, by the way. It's enough to know your reasoning. I shouldn't pry for specifics. If I keep making you talk about your past, you'll never move on from it. So, let's have a drink to the future, alright? And not the Komorebi, but the future we make for ourselves. No need to base our lives on all of that metaphysical nonsense.
I raise my glass, and we drink in sync with one another. However, when we put the glasses down, I have to come clean. Just want to let him know I've never experienced Komorebi.
Oh, really? Well, even better. From what I've seen, people like you live happier lives. I've never understood all that counselor nonsense.
I totally agree, and thank him for his point of view. If anything, it seems like the remnants of a dead system. People our age have long since come to terms with Komorebi. But while on the subject, I had to ask him. What did he see in his vision? Did he see his fame and fortune? I know he had songs in his head, but what else did he get? What else did he glean? He immediately looks taken aback, and his ears perk up. He looks worried and blushes softly as he adjusts his scarf. Such a mixed reaction. I can't tell if I did something bad or not.
That's a third date kind of conversation, you know? But I doubt this is the last time we'll be hanging out together. Just put that one on the back burner. At least for now. Please?
Does that make it get us to our first date? I'm going with this.
Smooth. But actually, I'm not really allowed to date. They say a single guy gets more attention from the fans. I know they're really after money, but I can't exactly fight the label.
Damn. Wait, the industry controls his personal life? That doesn't sound good. Although it does explain why his social skills are rough around the edges. If this is really his first group of friends, I'm glad to be part of it.
Although...
He smirks.
I keep forgetting that I'm not bound by their rules during this hiatus. Like, I know I am, but it hasn't really registered in my head yet. They gave me this little break in order to seal a deal in the making.
A deal?
Yeah. After this break, I owe them 5 albums over 10 years.
Jesus.
My last contract ran its course, so I actually had ground to negotiate. I'm giving them so much of my life. I guess I just wanted some of it back in return.
5 albums in over 10 years? There's something about all of this that seems so depressing. He's able to say with a smile, however, like it's normal to him.
But I know that during this break, I'll make bonds that last a lifetime. The next 10 years will be nothing if I have all of you by my side. I was worried, but now I have some much needed backup.
You both smile at each other, and he blushes once more. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that seems like the perfect end to our talk. Both saying up at the same time, it was almost like that feeling was mutual. It seems as if we're both in sync. Like he said before, fish out of water. Holding out his glass, he simply repeats his earlier saying.
Remember, lost and clueless.
But lost and clueless together. As I say that, I tap my glass against his. With a quick smile, he returns to the rest of the group. Lost and clueless. Everyone seems to be getting along as I head back to the group. Klace slowly sips on his glass of wine, and everybody mingles with each other. That bravery definitely helped. I can't party as hard as everyone else, it seems.
Welcome back. Was starting to worry you'd ditch us. Not everybody can handle a night like this.
No hard feelings if that's the case, of course.
Oh, there'd definitely be hard feelings. Isaac planned this night just for you, remember?
Pressure. That's not even true. He planned the night around Klace, too.
Makes me feel a little inadequate. I never got a party like this when I joined the group.
Yeah, I save it for the people who are worth it.
Burn.
Oh, mean.
Justified, actually.
Klace finishes his glass of wine and places it down, emitting a loud noise. This gets all of our attention and the bickering quickly stops.
What do you think we should do next? There's still a few hours before last call.
Good question.
We all exchange glances, unsure of what to do. No one mentions anything, so Klace changes the subject.
I may have blown my cover a little earlier, by the way. We should probably sneak out the back entrance when we leave.
That's fine with me. I warned everybody that we might attract some attention. What should we do if everyone starts crowding you?
I don't think it'll be an issue, but just stay by my side. I can keep you safe if anything escalates.
Actually, I figured we'd be the ones protecting you.
Yeah, right. The crowd would eat you alive. I'm used to this, so if it comes down to it, just follow my lead. It doesn't happen too often, though. Not with the new point penalties.
The new what? No?
Yeah. Public scene, big uproar, obstructing paths. If they notice us, they'll probably just watch from a distance. Pestering a public figure can net you like 10 different penalties.
Really? And that's been set in stone. That's not just one of the glitches happening lately.
Convenient excuse, don't you think? Crack down harder and blame it on a glitch?
Oh, is it tinfoil hat time? Trust me, I've heard every possible theory about Argus. The world was dealt a bad hand and they just wanted to help. That's all.
You should hear what some of the people say to me at work. They have no problem trash-talking the company they're giving money to.
That sounds dumb.
Well, I mean, we're not just giving them money. We're giving them the freedom to control our lives. I know it's for the greater good, but it's still strict.
You can still do whatever you want, though. You're not tied down. At the end of the day, you're still in control of your score.
Yeah, but there's a lot of incentive to be an obedient drone. A bad score can literally destroy your life and your social status.
Well, not always.
What do you mean?
That's Sprite again.
My score is pretty awful, especially with all the partying I do on tour.
That is so not fair. Tank your score and they still let you buy out a bar? If any normal person tried that, they'd just be laughed away.
So the scores aren't as absolute as we think. I mean, as far as theories go, that's pretty common.
Holy cow, dude.
But you can't say that's part of Argus's game. Notable people have always been given special treatment. It's not like that's a new addition to our society. Nothing changed.
Shouldn't it, though?
That's a bit too deep for me. No sense wasting time on something you can't change. It's just wishful thinking. Like trying to defy your vision.
that doesn't mean you should just sit back and give up. As long as you believe in your cause, a losing battle can still be worth fighting.
You guys flip-flop way too much on whether or not you believe your visions.
Us and the rest of the world, Isaac. We weren't all given a bright one like you were.
Everybody looks shocked and exchange glances. I know alcohol is at play, but Dante just made a big mistake. Revealing facts about another person's vision? Really bad move. I didn't have a vision, but I knew that they were super intimate. Sharing your vision with someone else was an expression of trust. To have them speak about it to others was a bit of a betrayal.
You may think it's bright from what I told you, but unless you're all there beside me, it'll feel hollow. When things get tough, the hope that I can change it keeps me going.
Dante shakes his head upon realizing his mistake.
I'm sorry, Isaac. I didn't mean to speak for you.
It's fine. I'm among friends. I would trust all of you with this stuff. Just not now.
That's fair. Anyway, let's go back to Taylor. You've heard every theory? What are some of the worst?
Aliens?
Excuse me, people actually believe that?
Oh, totally. I see it everywhere. Whenever something weird happens, people on the internet will say aliens. And I do have to admit, Komorebi is pretty high up there on the weird scale.
Yeah, but aliens?
Hey, I never said I believed it. I think the deterrent theory is way better.
The what?
Oh, I know about that one actually. Right before the first visions, world tensions were high. Everyone thought we were moments away from all-out war. Then, all of a sudden, Komorebi steps in. We don't care about fighting each other anymore. We have a new common enemy, the future.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's not something you can take, like a nation, and it's not something you can force, like an ideal.
It brought about peace. Whether random or created, that's still the case.
I don't think I can buy the theory that someone created Komorebi. It would be impossible to manufacture something like that, right?
I don't know about that one. There's always a scientist that tries to play God, you know? Like I said, I'm more inclined to believe that theory. Doesn't mean I believe it.
That's fair. I did hear about some crazy experiments in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah, they're always up to something over there. I know they were obsessed with contacting another universe for a while.
Did that ever go anywhere?
I don't think we were worthy of a response. Like Taylor joked about, this is probably just the darkest timeline. They take one look at what we have to put up with and run the other way.
That's so depressing.
I have a cure for that.
Is it? Yeah, it's a bottle of booze. Taylor holds a bottle of booze and planning has time to drink more.
Besides, it's a waste of time to focus on questions that have no answer. Like, why do scissors come in packages that require scissors to open? Like, I'm buying a pair. That obviously means that I don't have one to use.
Why don't you just use a kitchen knife to open it?
What?
We have like 10 knives in the kitchen drawer. You do know you don't need to use scissors, right?
But there's a little picture of scissors next to the dotted line.
He follows the rules. Everyone stares at Taylor.
Is it okay if I just start drinking again? We're here to have fun, not rip into Taylor.
You know what? You're right. But I do appreciate talking about more real issues. Even if we'll never know the truth, it's still healthy to talk about.
Hey, I'll drink to that one. It can't be all fun and games, even if we want it to be. Honestly, this is one of the best nights I've ever had.
You must not have much freedom when you're on tour.
Nah. I'm always at arm's length for one person or another. But I told them I wanted to be left alone while I'm on this hiatus. At least it'll give me the chance to prove that I can care for myself.
And even if you couldn't, we'd be there for you. How about we grab some bottles and head back to my place?
Sounds good to me. Just remember what I said about taking the back door.
Didn't know you guys had that kind of relationship.
He meant the nightclub, you absolute idiot.
Taylor smirks without saying another word. A moment later, we all scurried toward the bar. I got a few bottles of whatever stood out to me. Like a kid in a candy store is a pretty apt expression. especially for Taylor, who seems overwhelmed by the possibilities. He keeps taking a bottle, putting it back, then taking another one. We didn't leave him behind. We waited for him to shoot before leaving. Free was certainly the best price of all. Oh my god, that was so long. Jesus. I need to get a drink. Real quick, hold on. Come on, Ruby, wait. It's Saturday, December 21st. We scurried down the streets, carrying more alcohol than we could ever drink. But it was all paid for, so there was no point in letting it all go to waste. Actually, we'd be entirely stocked up for our New Year's Eve party.
Damn, they're really watching us, huh? Kinda embarrassing. They're gonna think we're alcoholics.
Well, if you're not, you sure fooled me.
I look at the other side of the street. People watch from a distance. The flash of the cameras is annoying, but not too overwhelming. Klace was right. They won't approach us due to the system.
How do you operate under this much pressure, Klace? There's so many eyes on me, I can't help but feel violated.
You get used to it. The number one thing is remembering that they like you. They watch out of respect and admiration, not to judge.
Typically, I'd assume you're right, but I imagine you don't walk down the street like this too often. I mean, we look like we just robbed a dozen liquor stores.
We kinda did. I was just joking about buying it out.
What?
I tried to make a joke.
Dude, don't do that. You almost gave me a heart attack.
Nah, I'd never do that. It'd be way too boring without you.
I keep looking at the other side of the street. The crowd grows. Isaac was right, after all. We definitely got some attention. Thankfully, I made sure to dress nice and act confident.
Really? Good to know I made a nice first...
Before we can finish, we hear a bottle of booze hit the ground. It shatters, and I feel some drops of splash against my ankles. We turn around, and Dante stares at us. Clearly his fault.
We will never mention this again.
The crowd is watching us laughs like a studio audience. It's so weird. Like, they can't cross the divide between us. The system is keeping us apart, despite our desires.
I'd agree, but I know you'll just end up dropping more. You're next level clumsy, and now it's embarrassing me.
Nothing wrong with getting embarrassed. It'll help keep your ego in check.
Me? Ego?
It's undeniable.
Dante struggles to rearrange the balls in his hands. We stand by and wait for him, but we don't clean up the glass. One of the automated drones will be by to fix it in minutes, for sure.
Hey, you need some help?
Oh, what's up? We're all shocked to the attention and look at the other side of the road. Someone walks over, but it's not just anybody. We know this guy.
I figured they weren't gonna jump in and lend a hand. Looks like they're scared of getting in trouble. Well, intimidated even.
Intimidated? Why?
No idea. I'm just a messenger. But I saw a friend in need and ran to help. Guess the system doesn't like good Samaritans.
Well, it's not that. Our friend here is kind of famous, so they want pictures. The system is actually protecting us from a stampede.
Oh, famous? Really? Been here for a day and I'm already making connections? I'd be super jealous back at home, you know, if we cared about that kind of stuff.
He kneels down beside the broken glass. Running a couple of fingers through the pool of booze, he then tastes it. We all look at each other, confused and a bit concerned about health risks.
Oh, you drink this stuff?
Yeah.
Tastes disgusting.
Yeah, but it makes us happy.
Yeah.
Is this Argus's doing? Make you happy with drinks so you don't fight back?
What?
Well, just some food for thought. Or drinks for thought, I guess. Here, let me have some of that.
He motions toward Dante and holds out a hand. Dante looks at all of us, confused, before giving Zero some bottles. Kyron doing with relative ease, he shrugs, unsure what to do next.
Where are we going?
Home.
Well, I don't want to intrude on anything. I'll just help you carry your bottles and then go on my way. Let's call it even for the food you've been giving me.
Sounds fair.
Are you sure we won't get in trouble?
No. It doesn't matter anyway. Look at all the people taking photos of us. Any chance that we wouldn't get caught is long gone.
Is it actually a crime to talk to a Zero?
Well, it's a crime for them to sneak into the city. I imagine it's against the rules by association. If we get docked points, let's just contest it.
Fair.
The system really keeps you all apart, huh?
He tilts his head to the people on the other side of the street.
Looks like both sides are worried about their score. Common sense tells me you could coexist just fine.
Common sense? Not a lot of city folk have that. But thanks for the help. I appreciate it.
Well, you could show your appreciation by actually talking to me. Every person I meet, it's always score this and points that. I don't care about those. Let me make that crystal clear.
Well, you could tell us about yourself. We have a bit of a walk ahead of us. At least an hour.
I want to hear about the famous dude first. What did he do? Suck up to Argus the most?
Hey.
Not really. My score is terrible. But I like to sing and dance, and people like to listen and watch. I'm on a break now, but I usually just travel the world and perform.
That sounds stressful.
You have no idea. I'd suggest easing up on the Argus hate, though. There's no need to draw attention to yourself.
Yeah, you want to fit in as much as possible.
It's hard to do that when I can't enter any buildings. I'm supposed to have a phone with a special chip in it. I don't even have any money. How am I supposed to fit in?
Aren't you here with your friends to fight that, though? You know, so you can have access and stuff?
No, they're here to fight it. I'm here to see the sights and learn about this city. There's a lot less green around here. It's super depressing.
Suddenly, I remember the pamphlets I was shown earlier today. This might be a good time to get more information from Zero. Something told me we wouldn't make a habit of hanging out. I decided to ask him in an effort to make productive conversation. The perspective of an outsider is always good. It challenges your views. He seems to dislike Argus, but does he really believe the things I read?
Pamphlets? Wait, which ones are you talking about?
I let him know what I heard. They believe that Argus is responsible for Komorebi. Not only that, they believe Komorebi disproves free will.
That's ridiculous. Argus must have planted those to make us look bad. We did bring some reading material, but none as stupid as that.
What did you bring, exactly?
You know, just stuff about the impending land crisis. We grow in numbers while your cities grow in size. Less food and more people. A pretty bad combination.
I didn't know it was so severe.
It's definitely going down that route, yeah. But it's best to take care of it before it becomes a problem, you know? We just have foresight. Figured you'd all be used to that by now. Though I guess everyone focuses on potential futures. Kinda stupid when there's a real one right in front of your noses. One look at a Zero colony and you'd be on my side, I guarantee it.
Huh. I see. Well, thanks for helping. And I hope you enjoy your time in the city.
Of course. It's nice to have a change of pace. And if you want to help in return, just tell people we aren't that bad. If they believe Argus that much, we'll have no chance. Especially if they're starting to fall for those fake pamphlets. Whoever made them, it's clearly just an attempt to undermine.
Honestly, that's the best way to ruin somebody. Attack their credibility until it doesn't even matter if they speak the truth. Remove our willingness to hear so we don't care what you have to say.
Exactly. But like I said, it feels like a losing battle. Maybe you should share some of that happy juice with me.
That happy juice with me? Give me some of that happy juice. He lets out a soft laugh, and we're uncertain to be serious or not. But since we've been walking the entire time, we lost the crowd. The return of privacy and anonymity is a welcome one, to say the least.
How much farther is it?
Maybe 5 more minutes?
Alright. This is turning into quite the workout. I'm thankful that I got to make some new friends, though.
Likewise. And you're moving in with Isaac, right? Guess I'll have to come and visit more often.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But I can come to your place for that stream we talked about. I think a lot of people would be interested in watching it.
You're telling me. Just be warned that I say a lot of stupid stuff. You kinda have to turn off your filter to fill dead air.
I watch you all the time. Trust me, I know. Let's settle on a date and time, and I'll get them to make a press release. The more hype we can build leading up to it, the better. Sound good?
More than good.
I never watch Taylor, but this has me interested.
Yeah, you never watch. You just leech off of my viewers.
It's a good life.
We laugh as we continue to walk home. Zero is rather quiet, though. He's probably just not sure where he fits in, but we still appreciate the help. By the time we make it back home, he barely says another word. Because he has no clue what to say. He's hanging out with a group that's not with him. Or his type. A person. We're in the system, he's not. When we enter, Zero sees outside. He rests the booze he carried on the ground and we move it inside. It takes a couple of trips outside to transport it, but we eventually get the job done.
Hey, it doesn't look like he's leaving.
Taylor peeks through the window. It's a bit odd on both Taylor and the Zero's part.
Well, that's a little odd. I'll go talk to him for a few minutes. You can all relax. I won't be gone long.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm getting pretty sleepy over here.
Fair enough. I'll try to hurry. You should mingle for a bit. There's no more prying eyes around. I'll show you your room as soon as I get back.
I'll start the timer.
As Isaac steps outside, the rest of us gather together. We sit down on the couch in unison and let out loud sighs.
I'm getting old.
Getting?
Funny.
Dude, you're 23. You're not old.
23? Jesus.
Speaking of dramatic, you sure know how to draw a crowd, Klace. I was worried they'd cave and start swarming us.
Nah, they usually behave. Even without the system, I'm sure they'd still respect me. The relationship I have with my fans is certainly, unique.
Sure seems that way. Watching them stare at us felt so surreal. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Well, even if it does, you get used to it. But I'd be down to go somewhere more private next weekend. And it might be a good idea to avoid that Zero if we can.
Why not hit up the Wayfarer? It's pretty dead in there, and I love the Atmo.
What's that?
A pub, and a pretty good one. Cheap drinks, and they don't mind pouring extra.
Sounds good to me. Honestly, a nightclub may not have been the best first choice. I hope you can forgive me for what happened after we left.
Don't worry about it, Klace. And I heard you suggest the Wayfarer? Whew, I'm so down. After tonight, I could definitely use a more relaxed outing.
Looks like Isaac is back and kept his word of not being gone for long. He sits down on the couch with the rest of us and yawns.
I'm just going to die here now. I think I've used up my social energy. It's all over for me.
You still have to show me to my room.
All over.
I can show you if you'd like. We cleaned that room together, and now I know why. But I'm curious, where's all your luggage at?
Oh, someone's gonna bring it over tomorrow. They'll take care of everything, so don't worry. Are we just gonna let Isaac pass out there?
No way! This is my couch! Even if I have to carry him to his room.
So romantic. Why not just take his bed?
I'll never do that again. Oh, my back is still recovering.
Wait, you've slept in his bed before?
Upon hearing that, Isaac immediately jumps out of his seat.
All right, it's time. If you're showing Klace to his room, I'll stick with Delta. There's something I wanted to talk about anyways.
Works for me. Then Taylor gets the couch. And just to set this in stone, we're going to the Wayfarer next weekend?
Sounds good to me. Does Friday work for all of you?
Yep, I'm wide open. Also, I'll make us all breakfast. I assume your kitchen is fully stocked?
With all the essentials, yeah. But you don't have to do that.
Of course I don't. I'm just choosing to. This all means a lot to me, so I want to help out. It was great to finally meet you too. Well, all of you.
He looks at me and gives me a soft smile.
I guess that's our cue. See you all in the morning?
Sure thing. Taylor, if you need more blankets or anything...
We glance over at Taylor, and he's fast asleep on the couch. I guess he wasn't exaggerating when he said how tired he was. As much as I wanted this night to last forever, it was time to sleep.
Oh, guess we have to keep it down now. He gets really angry if he loses his beauty sleep. Come on, Delta. Let's go somewhere more private.
I nod and start to walk to my room. I'm not sure what he wants to talk about, but it can't be anything bad. It's probably related to the night he planned, if I enjoyed it and stuff like that. Oh my god, please. Please, I've been at this freaking I know it's like a culmination of everything that happened, but my god, it's taking me like probably over an hour and a half. As soon as we get to my room, I sit down in the bed. Isaac follows suit, sitting down beside me, but also keeping his distance. He adds a sense of familiarity to his otherwise bland and lifeless room. I didn't have no space to bring everything with me. A lot of stuff, like my computer and bed, had to stay behind. But I guess it's not a fresh start if you don't shed it a little bit.
So, did you have fun? What did you think of the plans I made?
They involved you, so they're pretty much perfect.
Wait, all it takes is me? No, I definitely got too ambitious then. Oh well, at least next weekend will be low effort. Not that there's anything wrong with ambition, though I guess it's one of those in moderation things. You could easily go too far. Even Argus was started by someone with high hopes.
He rubs the back of his head a little bit, like he's nervous.
I hope we don't get docked too many points for what happened tonight. Community service wasn't how I planned to spend the rest of my year. We didn't even do anything wrong, so why do I feel so guilty?
Shaking his head, he lets out a dramatic sigh.
Oh, everyone keeps inheriting such flawed ideals these days. Our minds are sewn shut before we even have the chance to open them. Makes us scared of change. Scared of things that are good. The world was never reinvented by people who thought inside the box, Delta. But try as hard as I can, the envelope always pushes back. Rules, guidelines, scores, they just foil progress.
I nod, unsure where he's going with this. But I imagine that his score means more to him than others. He works for Argus, after all, to people who govern everything. Get on their bad side would probably cause endless worry. Yet here he sits, with a look of realization on his face, rather than fear. Like the look of a man who just realized what needed to be done.
I think we'll need to have a proper conversation about all that nonsense. Especially with everything that's been going on the last few days. That Zero seems to like us, but I can't blame him.
He gives me a thumbs up and a wide smirk.
We're just the coolest.
We both laugh and then he inches a little bit closer.
For real though, people get in trouble for this kind of thing. But if we do, I want to fight it. And I want your help to do that too. Talking to a Zero shouldn't have to damage our lives.
I agree. He approached us and the action was harmless. As long as no harm was done, I don't think we should get in trouble. Of course, letting one thing slide can easily turn into an avalanche.
In fact, I'm willing to fight for a world where no one cares about that stuff. And if Argus just uses that to make an example out of me, well, at least I tried. Everyone else just accepts their punishment without asking questions.
It's true, people can easily become blind to the status quo. Jump through enough hoops, and eventually, you'll just get used to it. That's what Argus did. Taught us all to jump without asking why.
Anyway, I'd hate to end this night on a sour note. I'm just drunk venting, and there's no need to do that right now. I came in here to thank you for tonight, and let you know that I'm here. I know things are getting off to a great start, but I'm still here. If you're ever lonely, scared, or thinking of home, just let me know. I haven't been this motivated in years, and it's all thanks to your arrival.
He places his hands in mine.
I've got your back. I guess I just want to make that clear. At the end of the day, this give and take is all we really have. But you know what? It's all we really need. Someone there to help us when things go bad. Someone to direct us when we start feeling lost. I'm trying to buy time now since I'm super nervous. But I guess this is one of those things that I just need to get over with. especially now that the booze has shot my confidence sky high.
Without another word, he leans forward and kisses me on the cheek. When he pulls back, his face is bright red. I've never seen him like this before. It's not a bad thing, though. I squeeze his hands with a smile before letting go.
Enjoy your new life, Delta. And here's to a better tomorrow.
He leaves the room, happier than he'd been all night. It must have been a relief that things went off mostly without a hitch. I plug in my phone, then lay in bed and stare up at the ceiling. It's almost been a week, but this still doesn't feel like my bed. I wonder when that'll change. What might spark that change? The fact that we can make anywhere feel like home is rather peculiar. It just might take some more time. My eyelids feel heavy, and I soon succumb to fatigue. The very same fatigue that I fought off in Isaac's car when I first arrived. But I feel like this time, I can let it get the better of me. I deserve it, after all. I sleep, despite my worry that the tomorrow, I agree, may not be better. Because vision or not, we are all united in our fear of what would happen next. A better tomorrow. Finished culmination fragment. Oh my god. Finally. Ugh. That took way longer. And then, they were hungover. Cool. Oh my god. It's still going, please! As soon as I wake up, I saunter over to the living room. I say saunter, so I'm not sure if there's a word for hangover walk. My slow, labored strides carried me toward the promise of a hot breakfast. But when I make it to my destination, I'm immediately let down. There's nobody in the kitchen, and Klace is half asleep on the living room couch. I'm about to call out his name, but Isaac beats me to it, instantly behind me.
Hey, Klace. You forgetting something?
He moves slightly, and speaks nonsense. It's like he's caught halfway between dreaming and reality.
Dude, get up!
Suddenly, Klace jumps on the couch, adjusts his scarf, and looks embarrassed. I suppose I'll be embarrassed too, but I promised everyone my meal and messed up. But I'm sure we can still eat, even if it's just a bit later than initially planned.
Sorry. Just the hangover. I didn't expect the party so hard last night.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. You're just a lightweight.
You rang?
Taylor walks in the room, looking like a zombie. It seems like the night hit some of us harder than others.
Can't imagine partying like that too often. Maybe one day I'll be on your level.
I've been saying that for years, but you just can't beat Isaac and Taylor.
Dante enters the room, cup of coffee in hand. I swear, that thing is glued to him. Come morning time.
Good to know I party harder than a pop star. I always knew I was special, but this just seals it.
That, and you don't let us down when you promise a hot breakfast. Sorry, Klace, but you're not gonna live this one down anytime soon.
It was an honest mistake. I'll handle myself better at the tavern.
You were fine at the nightclub. I definitely enjoyed our one-on-one time. His ears perk up, and a bright blush appears on his face. It's almost like, until this exact second, he forgot about our heart-to-heart.
Oh no.
He covers his face with his hands.
Oh no. Delta, forget everything I said. I was just drunk venting, I swear. I didn't even mean it.
Ooh, gossip time.
Well, I could go for some gossip.
Even Isaac leans in, curious about what happened.
You're all awful people.
He laughs as he gets up from the couch and stumbles slightly.
And that's why you fit right in.
Oh, come here. I gotcha.
Isaac wraps an arm around Klace and helps him stay upright. Maybe he's not just hungover. He could still be kind of drunk, too.
Thanks, man. I'll get you back one day.
Yeah, if I ever need it. I'm not quite the shot taker you are.
We look at one another, trying to figure out what we should do. In his current state, Klace would certainly not be making us breakfast.
Wanna just hit up the Triple R?
You mean the hangover breakfast place?
I see you've already been told. That sound good to everyone else?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
I nod. Going to a Triple R has almost become a regular occurrence for me now.
I, actually have something important to talk about. And just so you know, yes, it is related to that 0.
Oh man, I almost forgot.
I was expecting a few hits to my score when I woke up this morning. Gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Looks like we're in the clear.
We all look at each other, then back at Isaac, as he wears a wide smirk.
What did you do?
His smile simply widens even more.
Let's wait until we're eating, then I'll talk. Promise.
He reaches up and snaps a finger, in almost dramatic fashion.
Scene change.
Isaac, what the fuck? He knows. He knows we're in his system. We're doing the system.
Wait, what?
How did you do that?
They are confused. Isaac is an omnipotent being.
Don't even worry about it. And look, breakfast is served.
You didn't even order anything. We all look down to find full place before us. Klace whimpers as he rests his hand on the table.
Did you need to do that while I'm this hungover?
Almost definitely.
Everything is spinning enough already.
He shakes his head and attempts to stand upright.
And I don't even remember ordering this. How much is it gonna set me back?
He turns his head toward the sign at the back of the diner. After seeing the price, he groans, but so do the rest of us. It's more expensive than normal. They changed the price.
What? That's no fair. They should have told us.
And give us the chance to say no? Doesn't seem very lucrative to me.
You're in on this, Isaac.
I guess the third R stands for robbery.
Or maybe Isaac's magic trick messed something up.
We all look at him, a little confused.
Magic trick? What do you mean?
You teleported us!
Yeah, right. Very funny.
This time, instead of looking at Klace, we exchange glances with one another.
What's he talking about?
I haven't the foggiest. Anyway, Isaac, what's up?
Huh?
You said you wanted to talk to us. About something 0 related?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's just been a long night. Although, I did find a way to keep us out of trouble.
Really? How? Not gonna lie, I've been kinda worried.
Yeah, same. I've been checking my phone all morning. Figured it was only a matter of time before my score went down.
I bet you're all surprised that it hasn't changed, right?
Actually, yeah. And now you're starting to worry me. You did something, didn't you, Isaac?
Absolutely. In fact, I worked so hard, I didn't get any sleep. And I did it all in the name of protecting my friends.
And yourself, of course.
Mostly myself.
How altruistic.
Yeah, I'm basically a hero.
And you tell me to keep my ego in check.
Wait. In order to stave off my increasingly growing paranoia, you didn't make another one of your mods, did you?
Promise to let me explain before you freak out?
That's definitely a yes, Dante. Oh, we're gonna get locked up for real now.
Let's give him a chance to explain before I start screaming.
Wait, why are we screaming? And what do you mean another one of his mods?
Did Isaac not tell you?
You're starting to worry me here.
He just likes to tinker with Argus tech. It's no big deal. That's why you won't be hearing any system notifications at home.
No big deal? You bug me about it like every day. It's been a couple years already. We're not getting in trouble, man.
True. Argus usually cracks down on that stuff right away. If you didn't get in trouble the first time, you probably won't at all.
I guess I'm just a ball of paranoia then.
Likely.
Let's hear him out. I'm actually kinda curious what he did. Just please don't make us worry more than we already are. Every time you do something new, you just make us panic.
Look, that's not my fault, remember? I have a flawless track record. It's your trust in me that needs polishing.
So, even though you basically break the law, it's still our fault.
Good to know we're on the same page.
You better have a good explanation this time, then.
Oh, I do. This one's a game changer. Ready to see the latest innovation from the House of Isaac?
I swear to God.
Only if you never say it like that again.
I'm gonna second that.
Oh, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I don't have a silent choice. Just, alright, thirding.
Wow, you too, Delta?
Yes. I shrug.
I'm gonna need your help with this one, though. Remember when you came to visit me at work?
It's not our first date. Of course, if you need help again, just let me know.
Oh? Having secret meetings without us? Didn't realize you two were moving that fast.
Dante, come on. Now's not the time. I'm trying to tell you something important.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Sass is just my default.
Isaac shrugs and disregards what happened.
Alright, so, I've been making lots of big sales at work lately. However, earlier last week, I lost commission on a lot of them.
That has got to be painful.
It was, but there was a silver lining. A big one, too. Turns out, the people that bought them were up to no good. This is the part that Delta can vouch for, by the way.
Yeah, he told me what happened. He told me when he applied that discount on my identity.
Knew I could count on you. Anyway, I decided to look into it, and I found something big. The purchases were made by an anti-Argus organization.
I think I've seen them in the news lately. Weren't they called Cypher or something?
Yeah, exactly. They helped the Zero sneak into the city. But that was only half of their plan. They, kinda slipped up.
What was the other half?
Hooking up the Zeros with phones and identities. You know, basically starting a revolution.
What? You can do that?
I'm pretty sure that's impossible.
Isaac leans forward, clearly invested in what he's about to say.
Actually, it's not impossible. There was just no reliable way to test it out. Remember, this is the first wave of Zeros to enter any city. Everything until now was just practice, with no action.
And how does this help us?
Well, they had no way of knowing whether they'd fail or not. Sometimes you just don't know until you finally flick that switch. However, in slipping up, they left behind a perfect blueprint.
He takes a phone out of his pocket and places it on the table.
Isaac.
Isaac.
You didn't.
I did.
He smiles as he slides the phone across the table toward Taylor and Dante.
I made this for our new friend. He should be able to live in the city just like the rest of us. So, as far as everything goes, we're totally off the hook.
We are edging the line of getting arrested.
That sounds highly illegal.
Yeah, but it's not like we'll get caught. Though his new score did take a bit of a hit, you know, for pestering a public figure and stuff.
I find this exceptionally hard to believe. You found a way to cheat the system overnight?
Not really, no. That Cypher group put in years of work. They basically left behind a test that was 99% complete.
And you knew the final answers.
Bingo! So, I'm gonna give this to that Zero, and we can move on. We won't get in trouble for anything we've done. I guarantee it.
How can you possibly guarantee that?
Yeah, that's...
I guess you'll just have to work on trusting me.
He always asks for the impossible.
I feel like we should have talked about this first. Maybe.
I couldn't just sit back and let you get in trouble. We hung out with that Zero, and gave him city goods. At least now we don't have to worry about our scores.
Yeah, a ticking time bomb like this is way less stressful.
Come on, I'm just trying to help.
Is this why you went back outside to talk to him last night?
Yeah, I already kinda made up my mind.
Suddenly, his drunken venting last night made a lot more sense.
Can you at least give me a more technical explanation? You don't have to explain it like we're children.
Sure. You almost done eating? He's supposed to meet us outside a few minutes from now.
Upon hearing that, we all start devouring our meals.
Oh, and just so you know, he has a name now.
Scene change. Can't snap. There. Not sure you can hear it, but I snapped my fingers. With my pointer and thumb. I'm not sure how to snap my middle finger and thumb, or any other finger. I don't know how to snap my pointer finger and thumb. After furiously eating our meals, we leave the diner. Dante wasted no time getting back on topic almost exactly as we exit.
Well, what?
Aren't you going to tell us how you pulled this off?
Oh, right. Just didn't want to do it inside. Even if we're safe, it's still good to be cautious.
He looks around, ensuring that we have privacy. The streets are relatively empty today, so I think we're good.
Well, Cypher was actually pretty successful. They just slipped up in the end. They had no problem creating new identities to place on blank phones. Their logic was sound, and their internal testing went perfectly. But things always change when you put plans into action. Once the phones connected to Argus's database, they triggered alarms. The phones were flawless, but the identities didn't have a match.
So it was just pushing past an extra layer of security.
Well, I think that's certainly downplaying my ability. And if you want to get technical, it was like 10,000 layers. The moment those phones connected to Argus, Cypher was compromised. But I got to see exactly how they lost, and how to avoid it. It's something only a higher-up at Argus could accomplish.
You work retail.
Okay, I'm still recording.
Hey,
God.
I'm still pretty high up there. My security clearance goes a lot higher than you'd think. I even have right access to the pupil system.
Wait, seriously? I didn't know you were, like, successful.
I know what you're trying to say, so I won't take it as a shot. But yeah, that's why I'm aiming for that promotion next year. It'll actually put me closer to my true role inside of Argus.
So what, you can just create matching identities in the database?
Among other things, yeah. Remember, it's complicated. I'm trying to keep it easy so everyone understands.
It makes sense to me. But isn't that gonna look suspicious? I mean, a random guy just popping into existence last night?
Funny that you're the one to ask, Klace. Isn't your burner account basically the same thing?
I think it's right. Klace technically has a second identity. It's for his safety and anonymity. Anonymity. It's a pop idol, but it's still similar.
Oh, right.
So, it's definitely possible to create a new identity without issue. In fact, it's actually done every day, thanks to the VP system.
Now you're just throwing out random letters. VP? What are you talking about?
At that exact second, the Zero approaches us.
I didn't want to intrude, so I circled the block a few times. Then I came back and you were still talking, so I circled again. Honestly, this time I'm just showing up so I can ask you to stop.
He smirks at us.
So I am pretty curious about this pupil and VP thing. You said I'd be the first Zero in history to do all this, right?
Maybe keep that part down?
Oh, sorry. Forgot that was kind of a no-no word around here. Though I gotta say, I am grateful for the opportunity, Isaac. And don't think I forgot about the rest of you either.
He looks at me and gives me another smirk.
Glad to see they let the cool one tag along.
Yeah! Isaac scoffs.
Hey, I'm totally cool! Especially after what I did for you!
Alright, prove it then. Tell me about this pupil and VP stuff.
Isaac looks around, and it seems like more people are outside now.
Maybe we should take this somewhere more private?
Yeah, good idea. I don't think we should bring him home, though. We should wait until we're really feeling safe.
Don't worry, I have an idea.
Oh yeah?
My talent agency has a branch in almost every major city. There's lots of air travel, especially when an idol's on tour. There should be a small airfield nearby we can make use of.
Airfield? Isn't that a little extra?
Well, if you want to make it as an idol, you have to be a little extra. Besides, those private jets are super secure. I hide in them all the time.
Hide? From what?
Just stupid stuff. You know, like responsibilities.
And you keep becoming more and more relatable. I'm down, though. Hanging in a private jet sounds pretty awesome.
When is this fragment gonna end?
I like the sound of that, actually. And Klace's entry scan won't tip anybody off either. Especially if he hides in those things as often as he says.
And you'll tell me more about all this technical stuff?
Yeah, in style, too.
Guess I picked the right people to bug that day, then. Whatever you say goes, Isaac. I'm totally in your debt.
I swear to God, this fragment doesn't end. I get it's like a culmination, but my God, it's taking forever. I think I'm like almost like 3 hours. Eventually, we make it to the airfield, and I start to look around. It was probably best to keep our plans quiet, so we chose to be cautious. The airfield is huge, and Klace starts leading us to whatever plane prefers. We ended up choosing a plane that was at the far back of the field. One that didn't look like it had been used in a while, or would be used anytime soon. The moment we enter, Klace closes the door behind us, leaving us in complete darkness.
You ready for the big reveal?
Swear to God.
Please, I can wait no longer.
I've never been in a private jet before, so I don't know what to expect. Since Klace is hyping it up though, my expectations are shooting sky high. A moment later, when he turns on the lights, those expectations are exceeded.
And here we are. A real home away from home.
I quickly scanned the room, taking in the beautiful sight before me. There's no windows, just one big screen, set to the scene of the sky. Without even lifting off, it already feels like we're soaring through the heavens.
Whoa.
He's blushing!
Incredible. What do you think, Taylor?
A moment passes, no response.
Taylor?
We look over in Taylor's direction, and he's covering his face with his hands. Upon hearing us call his name, he spreads his fingers and looks out at us. As he realizes the lights are on, he uncovers his face and remains silent.
So much for thriving in the dark.
Meanie.
Oh, I didn't realize you were afraid of...
It's because I'm not.
Oh, I see.
Before this can go any further, the Zero steps forward. Though I have to say, it's a bit peculiar that Taylor's afraid of the dark.
Damn, you weren't lying when you said this guy's famous. And rich enough to call a jet his home away from home, too? Maybe you can just pay off Argus if we ever get in trouble.
Bribe the authorities? Yeah, that would go over so well.
Probably not. And that's not why I call this place a home away from home either. The real reason is... well, I guess it's kind of complicated.
I'll take your word for it.
Or we could be real friends and let him explain. This place clearly means a lot to him, right?
Klace looks both excited and happy as Taylor defends him. Without wasting another moment, he jumps right into his explanation.
Well, you know how your home makes you feel, right? Safe, secure, and happy? It's familiar, so it has a lot of meaning.
Yeah, I feel that. Coming home after a long day at work. Couldn't think of a better feeling if I tried.
Well, I'm always traveling, so I don't really have a place like that. These jets all share the same internal design, so it's the closest thing I had. No matter where I was in the world, I could always come to a place like this. And for some reason, that gave me comfort.
We all look at one another before Dante jumps in with some trademark snark.
Depressing, but it makes sense.
Yeah, that basically sums up the life of an idol. But during my visit, I hope Isaac's home can feel special too. Never really had the chance to live in a normal house.
And Zero, that is why we let our friends speak. Look at all that info you were just about to shut down.
Sorry, the cold shoulder kind of became my go-to. In the city, it's best not to risk exposing my identity. Though I guess now that won't be an issue.
He tilts his head toward Isaac.
You want to get this show on the road?
Upon seeing the jet and hearing Klace's story, I guess we got a bit derailed. But the Zero was right. We had some important business to take care of.
Right. Sorry. Where was I?
I heard something about the pupil system. And VP? No clue what they are, but apparently they helped you cheat Argus.
Right. You ready? I think it's time we all take a seat.
I'm just going to fast forward everything. As we all sit down, Isaac lost in thought. It's a misspell. I guess it would be easy to explain how he cheated Argus. It was a world first, after all. It was easy to do. It would have been done by now.
Please kill me. I can't take the suspense anymore.
Oh? You want us to beat Argus to it?
Not funny, Dante.
It was actually kind of funny.
The Zero smirks as Isaac finally breaks free from his train of thought.
Right, so the pupil system is basically a database of everybody. It's probably where the eyes of Argus find themselves the most. When we signed up, that's actually where we put all our info in. I have write access, which means I can create identities. When someone needs to sign up at my store, I can help them do it. Argus just trusts me not to do anything more than that, I guess.
You really have that much power?
I've worked for them ever since I was old enough to work. If there's anybody they trust with this clearance, it's me. There is a bit more to it, however. Like Klace said, he has a second account. A fake name and a fake identity in the name of his security. There's already a precedent for this sort of thing. I just had to look into it. Fake accounts and identities are mostly made for two groups of people. Celebrities, like our pop star friend, and those who make use of the VP program. Believe it or not, fake identities are created almost every day for it.
Okay, but what is it?
The Vision Protection Program.
That can't be real.
Oh, it is. People don't always have the best visions. In situations like that, Argus can give them a new lease on life. If you're a victim, or even commit a crime in your vision, they can relocate you. It's mostly a precautionary measure to stop crimes from occurring. At least, in theory, they want to stop bad visions from coming to pass. If you wanted to create an identity without suspicion, that'd be how.
He scoffs and shakes his head.
I'm actually kind of surprised, Isaac. Now that you explained it, I think I believe you.
Yeah, it was pretty simple at the end of the day. At least for somebody in my position.
Don't get cocky now.
Yeah, I only beat the system that governs our lives. Totally not a big deal, all things considered.
You need to work on your sarcasm, Isaac.
Well, I'm learning from the best.
We laugh, and the tension in the room seems to disappear. I can understand Isaac's explanation, at least a little bit. There's a lot of pieces falling into place all at once. Klace's second account, the VP program, the people system, and Isaac's rank. Even those sales he lost at work, they all combined to let him pull this off. It really feels like a culmination of everything I've experienced thus far.
So basically you walked a digital tightrope, and now it's up to me to follow your footsteps?
A bit of a bad metaphor, if you ask me. I walked that rope, but turned it into a road for you. All the risky business is already taken care of, I promise.
If you say so.
I do.
So, let me get this straight. Cypher taught you how to put fake identities on phones, and your position at Argus lets you verify those fake identities.
More or less.
And you set it up like you were in the VP program, so it's technically the same as Klace's burner account?
Well, I didn't want to snoop on him in the pupil system. But from what I gathered while studying, they're essentially the same. And how many times has Klace gotten in trouble for using that account?
Honestly, never.
Exactly. Things are gonna be fine. As far as Argus is concerned, all of us are the same now. So what do you say? Ready for your new life, Zero?
Yeah, I think I am.
Isaac smiles and takes out that phone once again. He places it down in front of the Zero, who quickly picks it up. I can tell he's confused, but he also looks incredibly happy.
Welcome to the system, Kyron.
Kyron? Is that my name?
Yep, picked it out myself. What do you think?
It's perfect. So I can use this just like anybody else.
You sure can. And don't forget about the tavern this weekend. From now on, you'll never drink booze off the streets again.
That was not my proudest moment.
What about this one?
It's definitely up there. I don't know how to repay you, Isaac.
Maybe less of that cold shoulder?
I'll work on it for sure.
He smiles, probably the first genuine one I've seen from him. I took this steady life for granted, and this made me realize it. What was normal for me was life-changing for Kyron.
Wait, he's gonna come to the tavern with us? Is that really a good idea?
I'll go scope it out, but I don't see why not. Want to meet back here in a few days and talk it through?
Sure. Sounds good to me.
Oh, is this gonna be our new HQ?
I won't be leaving anytime soon, but that's just because I don't have anywhere else to go.
Make yourself at home. The couches probably beat the street. And yeah, we can meet again here when we need the talk. Like I said, these things are really safe and secure.
So, like Taylor said then, new HQ?
Yeah, new HQ.
He was laughing, but I cut him off. He smiles, and for some reason, everything feels weird. It's like we were at a turning point in our history, in the history of society. Kyron would always and forever be the first zero to integrate into the system. Maybe there was hope for everyone else after all. Please tell me that's the end. Please, I've been recording for hours. I kind of want to say this is like one full video. It's not over. Oh my god. I sit in the chair, my face in my hands. The counselor immediately noticed my fatigue and took his head. Looks like I was still recovering from a nightclub outing. Well, it's like a bunch of other stuff didn't happen, but yeah. I guess everything was starting to take its toll on me. Moving is a big deal. Now there's all this extra stuff. Of course, I had to keep a lot of it secret from my counselor. The one person who was supposed to help me organize my head. Ironic. He waits for me to speak, but I don't. Eventually he decides to get things started.
Things must have been rather hectic. It's not like you to be late, Delta.
I tell him there's a lot going on. I'm only half truthful. I say that our nightclub outing was intense, and I'm still catching up on sleep. Based on his understanding of my life, it's clearly enough to say him.
Well, that makes sense to me. It was your first big outing. I'm sure you saw your friends in a new light, too.
Definitely.
Hopefully you like what you're starting to see. That may change if they feel like they've won you over. At that point, a lot of people feel like they can stop trying. It's not a bad thing, and it's something we all do. Enjoy this as a honeymoon phase, though, not the standard. You may start to notice their courtesies and time slowly fade away. But on the bright side, at least you won't be tired like this all the time. I'm assuming it was a one-of-a-kind welcoming celebration? If not, I may be kind of concerned for your friends.
He lets out a soft chuckle, like he was attempting to make a joke. I tell him that they like a good time, but this was definitely over the top.
Sounds exciting. But I have to ask, is alcohol commonplace in your group?
I nod, common but not a focus. I genuinely concerned, but I tell him we're just enjoying my arrival.
Very well. Just make sure you're drinking for the right reasons. Sometimes people ask how much instead of why. Think about that if you ever want to self-evaluate.
This seems like a good time to tell him about the bar. Alcohol use might be prominent for a while, especially on New Year's Eve. Oh, and also slipping the fact that a celebrity bought the booze and moved in.
I see. So you weren't the only one moving in with Isaac. Interesting. Just make sure this celebrity doesn't pressure you into anything. A lifestyle like that can be just as dangerous as it is glamorous.
I shake my head. It wouldn't be a problem. Klace seems really nice. But he also experienced Komorebi, so I'm still on and out. That's why I take these sessions, so I feel the need to tell him.
At this point, it's pretty unlikely that you'll run into anybody without Komorebi. Except for me, of course. The odds are just against people like us. But I have to ask, did he happen to tell you about his vision?
He told me he got famous by recreating songs he stole from it.
Interesting. You know, you see a lot of people do that. Artists with visions always seem more established in the future. The temptation to steal an idea or two is more common than you think.
He fills up his papers before resting on the table beside him.
Have you ever heard of the stolen renaissance? It's a bit of an older term, but it's still used quite widely.
I shake my head. Does it sound familiar to me?
Well, right when the vision started, things were chaotic. They permanently threw society and technology down a different path. Some would even argue that it sabotaged a lot of positive change. This is hard to prove, but artists are a pretty good example. A lot of people ended up seeing futures where they created masterpieces. In their haste to recreate them, they fell short and ruined their careers.
That would be rather crushing.
Now, think about all the great pieces of art in our history. There's so many, and their influence on things is incredibly clear. But can you think of any since the day Komorebi began? There seems to be a rather peculiar halt, doesn't there? A lot of our greats taken away. A renaissance stolen. At least that's one of the more believable effects.
More believable? That reminds me of our group at the nightclub. We talked about some theories of Komorebi, even the absurd ones involving aliens. It was cool to hear about how visions affected society on a deeper level, though.
You don't really stop to think about these things until they're brought up. But I deal with a lot of patients, and every friend group has an artist. It looks like your new acquaintance just got lucky. That's rare. Some artists are open about stealing from their future selves. In fact, recreating something you saw in a vision is like another form of art. A new skill to be mastered, completely separate from the base medium.
I never stopped to think about it like that, but then again, I've never had a vision. It's doubtful that you'll be able to remember every single detail of something you made. Perhaps they just took the most important pieces and filled in the blanks. Curious. But I guess he's right. That'd be a measure of entirely different skill. It's doubtful that you'll be able to remember every single detail of something you made. I still think it's weird that we borrow from the future, like it's a resource.
But then we have to talk about the more sinister theories. You know, like if somebody is responsible for Komorebi and all the visions. Imagine that. Having society's growth and art all in the palm of your hand.
That would be catastrophic, were it in the wrong hands. The other theories flood to the forefront of my mind that Argus is responsible. They could control visions and make us see what they wanted? Wow. Part of me doesn't even want to think about that. But the counselor did mention it in one of our previous sessions. Visions could just be a trick to lure people down a certain path. I spent the rest of our session sitting in near silence, almost terrified. The stolen Renaissance? Then what else was taken from us? Maybe I truly am lucky, not to be bound by a vision. A sudden worry for my friends started to rise within me. Komorebi was a force that nobody could compete with. But if it also happened to be created, and could be managed, well, then whoever was in charge would have literally ruled the world. And if it were Argus, then it may already be on the bad side. Part 2. First in all of history. Finally. That took forever.
Welcome to the second of 4 fragment maps.
Okay, now that I know that the culmination fragments are long as hell, I'm going to make a separate part just for that.
This will act the same as the first one, so no further guidance will be offered.
Okay.
Remember to read Delta's diary entries between pivotal fragments, and enjoy your journey.
Thank you. Second of 4, reach fragment map 2. Okay. I am calling that off right now, because this part has gone for way too long. I need to split it into 2 parts, probably. So, sorry for all the craze. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed, because I'm actually getting pretty invested in the characters and story. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.